Hello everyone. Now, before we start the reading, I'm sure some of you are wondering why it is that I am dressed in military design with war paints. Well, my friends, it's because I'm dressed as any soldier would be dressed for war. Some of you may not be aware, but there is a spiritual war going on as we speak. I've heard a few different spiritual soldiers speak out about the final battle that is occurring this month in January. So I would like to talk to you a little bit about that in my intro videos this month. The final battle, I like to think of it as a video game. And like any final battle or any video game, you spend the entire series prepping and getting ready for this kind of boss character, this kind of final boss at the end. You know, we all have these kind of things in our life. It's these things that we get ready to fight. These things that have become a major battle for us. We all have things that we would like to overcome. We all have things that we're fighting for. We all have things that we're battling. And now these can be emotional wars. These can be spiritual wars. These can be mental wars, and they can very much be physical wars. But the one that I'm speaking about is more so a spiritual and emotional war, which in my opinion is even more serious and could be possibly even more bloody than the wars we've experienced in this physical realm. So, my friends, I've come to you with war paints. Well, my my I don't even know the word. That's how serious I am. I just can't even think of the word right now. This is my interpretation of war paints, because I wanted to visually express to you guys how serious this war is for us. This final battle that's taking place on this in a couple of days with the new moon in Capricorn. Now, for those of you who are a little confused still and who aren't really understanding, Capricorn is the 10th house, and in the 10th house, there you could find the legacy, you could find the government, you find the authority figures of power in our world. And with that being said, you can also find corruption. And I believe that has everything to do with the wars that we're going to be fighting the end of January. These are wars that we spent all of 2016 and 17 and 18 preparing for. And I strongly advise that you guys creatively and mentally and spiritually get ready for the wars that will be fought on the new moon in Capricorn. And I wanted to do the beginning of my videos this way because I know that on different levels we are all fighting different wars in our life. For some of us, we are fighting wars against ourselves. Others of us are fighting wars against our twin flame. Some of us are fighting wars against our shadow self. And as I mentioned, this war, you know, it took years and years and years for us to prepare for it. So needless to say, this final battle, this final boss is pretty gnarly. And we're going to need our entire mind, our entire body, our entire soul and spirit with us all together. It's very important that we face our fears and that we face what's up against us, whatever it may be. Whatever it may be, it's going to be different for all of us. But nonetheless, this new moon in Capricorn on the 15th is really going to reveal the true character of all of us. It's going to be nearly impossible to hide the true character of you, because that's what Capricorn is all about. Capricorn is about the true integrity that lies within a person, and for that matter, the true integrity that doesn't lie in some people. Nevertheless, it will be revealed. This is a very serious month. This is a very serious time. The moon and the sun have not had a chance to be together in Capricorn in a year. And now we have finally reached that point, guys. And as you all may know, Capricorn is a very serious and responsible energy. So this is all about rising above these mountains. These mountains that we climb. Mental mountains, emotional mountains, spiritual mountains, physical mountains. We all have mountains. We all have obstacles. And that's what Capricorn's about. Capricorn is about perseverance and pushing through the obstacles, right? Capricorn's ruled by Saturn. Saturn is all about what restricts us, what places boundaries on us. And I myself, as a Capricorn rising, have been recruited for this war for a very long time. Anyone with Capricorn energy, and let me tell you, we all have Capricorn energy somewhere. For those of you who have Capricorn in the 3rd house, you are being recruited to speak out with integrity. For those of you who have a Capricorn North Node, it is your destiny to fight. For those of you who are Capricorns, you are aware of this war going on. Capricorn Moon, you can feel this war. So wherever your Capricorn energy may be, that's where your integrity lies. That's where your character lies. For me, it's my spirit. And I just wanted to come to you guys today and utilize that Capricorn spirit that I have. So, like all my other videos, I do want to go over a little bit of the astrology, and I want to go over what you can look forward to in my readings this month. Very intense messages this month, guys. I'm going to try to still remain my positive Pisces creative self, obviously. This is me being creative in a more serious way. But yeah, you know, my readings are going to be pretty serious this month. And I mentioned mountains. I'm actually going to be doing a mountain spread. And this is just something that I creatively thought of, and you'll see in your video. So if you would like to continue watching, what you're going to be seeing and what I'm going to be giving you as a message is, I want to reveal to you the mountains of 2018. Possibly the mountains that you've been climbing for years. I want to reveal to you your obstacle. And for some of us, the war that we're fighting is going to be fought with our very own mountains. I don't want you to be afraid. Like, some of you may really get in physical fights, but you know, I'm disappointed if that's true, because it isn't the physical aspect that matters now. It's the spiritual aspect. What are you willing to spiritually fight for? Where does your spiritual integrity lie? Who is your spiritual character? Physical fights, you know, anybody can physically fight, but can you like fight on a soul level? That's what this is about, my friends. So Pisces Priestess is going to show you your final boss in mountain form, because this is Capricorn season. And yeah, I'm going to be doing that. So since Capricorn is the 10th house, I'm going to be using 10 cards to show you what your greatest obstacle is. And I hope you're following me here. I hope this makes sense, and I trust that this will make sense to those who it's supposed to make sense to. So also, on a lighter note, I have 2 special giveaways. Aries being one, and to be honest with you, I forgot to look at my YouTube to see who my second winner is. But Aries, shout out to you. You guys had over 1,000 views. And Aquarius, you guys had over 1,000 views on my last video last month. But Aries made it very soon. I'm very happy about that, because I spoke out last month about, you know, I didn't really have many Aries viewers. And apparently the universe heard me, and a lot of Aries have followed me, and they're giving me a lot of good feedback, and I really appreciate that. So Aries, stay tuned. You will be getting a special giveaway in your reading. I will be using a new deck that I received for a gift. I have not came out and shown anyone this deck yet. I will be doing a whole entire new video of its own, revealing this deck to you. That's going to be something fun, so be on the lookout for that video later on in the month, closer towards the end. And don't worry, everybody else, as a token of my gratitude for all of you, I have made it past 500 followers. And back in the beginning of my journey, when I thought of this YouTube channel, back when I had 12 followers, you know, which still meant the world to me. I never knew, it's not about the followers to me, it's about the message. And, you know, I told myself from day one, when you know, 500 is half of 1,000. Oh man, when I get 1,000 followers, you guys, oh wow, well, I will get creative about how I repay you all for that. I'm talking free readings, extra readings that I upload to YouTube, you name it. I'll be doing, because this matters so much to me, and I hope you can feel that in my readings. So thank you all so much for helping me with my battle. Part of my battle, you know, is being Pisces priestess, and I fight spiritual battles every day. I fight emotional battles with my own light and dark every day. You know, I am enlightened, and part of being a light worker and part of being on this enlightened journey is people think that you're perfect when you're enlightened and when you can do these kind of things, but it couldn't be farther from the truth. When I chose to be an enlightened individual, I chose to wear my darkness and I chose to wear my light so that I could speak out as an advocate for others who are struggling with their light and their dark. So I truly thank you from the bottom of my serious heart right now for each and every one of you who have followed and subscribed to my channel. I have 600 followers now, so as a token of my gratitude, I will be pulling an extra card for everyone. And it is Capricorn season, which is a little bit more of a mysterious season. So I will be pulling an extra card to reveal a secret to you from the House of Knights, which I think will be very helpful for the readings. So do look out for that, guys. And as I said, Aries and one other lucky sign, and I guess everyone's just gonna have to watch. I can't remember. I'm so sorry. I did not check, and I was so eager to start these videos. I didn't check who liked my videos. But Aries, you hands down, you won every month I give a special reward to whatever sign likes my videos the most and views my videos the most. And Aries, you won the view part. Now, as far as whoever liked my videos the most, I'll have to check, and I will be honest. I'll just check and see what number is the greatest. And so do look out for that. So another lucky sign, and it's going to be a surprise to me too. Might be Pisces, I don't know. But do look out for that, guys. So let's jump into the astrology, and then we will get going with your January readings. So prepare to understand your own mental mountains and spiritual mountains. This is going to be literally a mountain with 10 cards. So I'm very excited. So guys, you know, the astrology part. I have it on my phone this month. We started the month off, well, this is also January, so happy January, you guys. Happy 2018. We started it off immediately. I thought it was very significant that we started the month and year off with a Cancer full moon. Cancer is ruled by the moon, and this is the blue moon, right? You know that saying that people say, they say, oh, once in a blue moon. Once in a blue moon, this will happen. Well, it did happen in the beginning of this month, and it was very, very intense. You know, the moon was at home, Saturn was at home, and this opposition between between Cancer and Capricorn was very much felt. I believe all of us are collectively in a different cycle. So we had that full moon in Cancer on the 1st. Another very interesting thing, you guys, is that a lot of these months in January up until April, we have two moons. Usually we only have one full moon, but the way that time has lined up, and yes, it can be explained. It can be explained in a logical way. February only has 28 days, but I believe that this is an energetic thing. This is energetically designed. This is divine. This is meant to be. We have 2 moons in January. We have 2 full moons in February and March, and in April the moons finally get back on track. So very exciting, very intense energy, right? I'm sure you all can feel it. So we started the month off full moon in Cancer. January 2nd, Uranus went direct in Aries. Uranus is the ruling planet of Aquarius, so Aquarius. Maybe you guys have felt a little bit more of a relief. I know when Neptune went direct, I felt very forward-minded. I felt I could move forward spiritually. So congratulations, Aquarius. Your ruling planet is finally direct. All the planets are direct right now, guys. This is a huge green light for the universe, for us to go, fight your battles, persevere, move forward, keep going, don't give up. All the things that we wanted to do, we can do them. The planets are rooting for us. So yes, we had Uranus go direct right after the full moon. On January 11th, Mercury entered Capricorn. We have a Capricorn stellium right now, you guys. There are so many planets in Capricorn. We have the moon in Capricorn. Mercury is now in Capricorn. The sun is in Capricorn. Venus has entered Capricorn. Venus entered Capricorn, I believe, the end of last month. We also have Pluto in Capricorn. So this is a super stellium. So much. No wonder my Capricorn rising wanted to dress in army war material, war paint. This is very much a war. And we need to rise up as soldiers against anything that stands in the way between us and our own success. We have a new moon in Capricorn tomorrow. And I wanted to get these videos uploaded before the new moon so that you could have your January messages. I always try to get my videos uploaded before the new moon. So we have a very, very intense new moon in Capricorn where and I think I'm going to do a whole new video. I'm going to do a whole video on the new moon, you guys, so that we can get these messages out clear. So do look out for that. I told you I would be coming out with a lot more videos. January 17th, Venus enters Aquarius. So right after that new moon, isn't it interesting how we have this intense energy? This is going to ground us, and like I said, we'll talk about the new moon in my new moon in Capricorn videos. I'm going to record those in the next few days as well. Venus enters Aquarius January 17th. The sun enters Aquarius on the 19th. Few days. We are rocking and rolling, guys. We are moving on strong. January 26th, Mars moves into Sagittarius. We'll talk more about that in the Sagittarius video, guys. And then, at the end of this month, we end this month with a gnarly full moon total lunar eclipse in Leo. Okay? We had an eclipse in Leo back in August, so this energy is coming back around, you guys. And then, right after that, on the same day, end of the month, January 31st, we end the month with Mercury entering the alien realm of Aquarius. I'm not sure if you guys know how intense this is. I'm not sure if you know the meaning. And for those of you who don't, Pisces Priestess is going to be here to interpret these things creatively in my thorough way that I usually do in my videos. A lot of stuff, guys, a lot of stuff going on. And obviously there are a lot of different battles, even our own country. I do believe that this is the dawning of a change. I do believe that, and I'm not trying to be Oprah here, Oprah's an Aquarius, but she's right. There is change on the horizon. And I declare, and I see, and I feel that there will be, so over the next 6 months, we will see the beginning of changes in our government. We will see the beginning of changes in our police force. We will see the beginning of changes in the laws of this land. That is what the 10th house is about, and we have the moon and the sun here, you guys. So change is on the way, grounded change. New moons are all about the beginning of things, planting the seeds for the future. So the next 6 months, you guys, it won't be only us who are changing, but our world is changing as well. And when the world changes, we change. And when we change, the world changes. We're all changing together. But before that change can take place, we have to fight for change. Like all of the great historical figures of this country have said before. So guys, welcome to your January videos. Welcome to a new year. Welcome to a new calling. Welcome to the battle. And let's do it together. I do hope that these videos are helpful this month. And I do hope that they are relatable. And I'm really excited to relay these messages to you. So I hope you enjoy your metaphorical mountains. See you in a little bit, guys, in your other videos. Hey Gemini, how you guys doing? So welcome to your January tarot videos with me, Pisces Priestess. And if you didn't watch my intro video, this month we are doing a 10 card spread. And at the end of the reading, we will have what looks like a mountain. And I thought to do that because Capricorn is the mountain goat. We're in Capricorn season. And we've also approached what we'll call the final battle. So I thought it would be very helpful to discuss our major battles. And I believe as zodiac signs, we are all going through different battles. So that's what we're going to be doing today for you, Gemini. I covered most of the astrology in the beginning of the reading. So if you want to, take a look back in the beginning of my intro, I covered a little bit of the astrology. I'll be talking more about the astrology later, so keep a lookout for my other uploaded videos. Other than that, Gemini, this is all about your second house and your 8th house. So we have your second house as Cancer. Cancer is your second house. Second house has everything to do with your personal resources, has everything to do with your value and finances. And the 8th house, which is opposite your second house, so we have Cancer and Capricorn as your second and 8th house. Your 8th house has everything to do with your secrets, intimacy, your hidden resources, and your shared resources with others people. So we had a full moon on the very first of the month as we were bringing in the new year. So that was a full moon in your second house. Some of you may have been experiencing completions and new beginnings in your finances and in your personal resources. And it could be emotional, because of that Cancer moon there. The moon is ruled by Cancer. And as far as the new moon happening tomorrow in Capricorn, that is more so about setting intentions for the future and planting new seeds. So if you want to do any of that when it comes to your darkness or your hidden secrets or the intimacy that you share with other people, that is a fabulous time to set intent for your future. Any of you wanting to set intent to meet a twin flame or meet a soulmate, that would be a great time to do that with the new moon in Capricorn, where you can ground those energies. But I'll be doing a video on the new moon in Capricorn tomorrow. So without further ado, Gemini, let's see what you're battling. Let's see what we can discuss with you about your mountain this month in January. Oh wow, we had the moon turn over. Something with holding on to certain emotions there, Gemini. But those cards kind of flip back over, so we're just looking here, Spirit, for 4 cards for Gemini's foundation of their mountain. What is the foundation of Gemini's mountain? 4 cards for the foundation of Gemini's mountain, please. Ooh. But we have the Wheel of Fortune turn over as well. So there are certain changes. I feel that everyone, all the signs are experiencing change. But we have the 6 of Cups that came out for you. This came out for Taurus as well. So for those of you who don't know, the 6 of Cups is a soulmate card. It is emotions. It talks about the past and the future. So we'll talk about that here in a little bit, but I want to focus on your reading and get your full mountain. I need to see the full picture so that I can understand what's going on here. So 3 more cards for the foundation of Gemini. What mountain, what battles and wars, what is the final battle about here? The 5 of Pentacles has been coming up a lot for you guys, but we have the 10 of Pentacles that decided to flip over. But I did see a glimpse there of the 5 of Pentacles, and that came out when I was shuffling your cards before the video as well. So there's something there with some sort of emotional, or I'm sorry, there's something there with some sort of financial poverty or something like that. But we have a lot of completions coming out for you, Gemini. Interesting, 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 interesting. We got a lot of your cards kind of flip over there with the Wheel of Fortune at the bottom of the deck again. A lot of changes. We have your opposite sign showing up, Sagittarius, and we have the Lover's card, which is your card. So let's get one more card for Gemini to clarify their foundation of this mountain. What are they struggling with? Okay, and we have the Ace of Cups. Oh, this is coming out for a lot of people as well. So let's see here. And Gemini, 1 second, because this is bothering me, and I just want to get this out of the view in the back of my videos, because I do not appreciate it. Okay, that's better. Well, might be something there with dirty laundry, Gemini, because that was my laundry over there that could be seen in my videos. I just needed to change that real quick there. So I don't know if that resonates with some of you, but dirty laundry, you know, could be a metaphor. And we have your 2 cards coming out. We have the 4 of Wands and the 2 of Pentacles. So this is definitely about your second house of value that needs to be balanced. We have the 10 of Pentacles down there and the 2 of Pentacles. So let's get the top of Gemini's mountain, please. What is the top of Gemini's mountain? Very important card here, Spirit, please. Ooh, okay. We have the 8 of Swords. So very interesting mountain for you, Gemini. Bottom of the deck, we have the 3 of Pentacles, or 3 of Cups, sorry. And don't forget, Gemini, I will be pulling a card from the House of Night at the end of your reading to reveal to you any secrets that may be in the shadows for you. So keep these over there for now. But we have your 10 cards. This is your mountain, Gemini. This is what your obstacles lie. This is where this is what you'll be battling. This is your final boss. This is your final battle. So the first card out, I'm going to move these up here. We're going to talk about your foundation. This is the foundation of your mountain right here. These first 4 cards. And I do hope that you guys can see. I think you can see pretty well. So we have the 6 of Cups coming out. And as I was mentioning before, the 6 of Cups has a lot to do with soulmate relationships. It talks a lot about the past and the future because we have a bigger figure and we have a littler figure. Now for you, Gemini, I specifically think of your twins when I see this card, because we have that whole dark and light twin thing going on as Geminis, right? So this could very much be for some of you that you getting in tune emotionally with the darker half of you. For others of you, this really is a soulmate, and I'm not sure, you know, where you guys are in that element, but this has something to do with your mountain. This came out as your first card, this 6 of Cups. For others of you, if it's not a soulmate mountain, then it's the mountain of your emotions from your past. Taurus got this card as well. So that's very interesting there that Taurus got this card. So I see here that there may be some sort of completions happening with a soulmate relationship. And guys, you know, you don't have to have your soulmate physically in your life. This is actually an emotional soulmate. And we don't want to ignore this figure back here that's walking away from the situation. So that could be you, Gemini, walking away from a soulmate, emotional soulmate situation. But you want to keep in mind that that full moon was in your second house. So there is a certain element here of valuing your emotion because Cancer is your second house. So there's emotion here from your past and also emotion here from your future. And that has everything to do with those 2 twins. And we do have your card right here above this card. So right off the bat, we're starting this kind of emotion, this foundation of your mountain with something from the past and something from the future. Your future and your past are coming up very strongly. And we have a lot of completions going on here for you as well. As I was mentioning to you in the beginning of the reading, that Cancer full moon on January 1st could have completed certain financial situations for you. And it could have also started at some new beginnings because full moons are about completions and new beginnings. And this is a completion card, and it's the Pentacle. So this is completions in your finances, and this is also new beginnings. Completions and new beginnings is what the number 10 signifies. So it may have something to do with the soulmate as well. There could have been some sort of past emotion. Some of you could be in a soulmate relationship with something that has to do with your second house of value. But I see that there's some sort of completion going on for some Geminis with a certain soulmate from the past. And you may be moving on from that, or you may be moving on to another relationship, possibly a twin flame relationship opposed to a soulmate relationship, or vice versa. But we have a completion here nonetheless. For others of you who don't resonate with a completion in a relationship, then, and this could also be still stuff from last month, because last month we had a Gemini full moon. So some of you, those changes could be coming up because we have Sagittarius here, right? Sagittarius is your 7th house. So I do see that the universe is trying to tell me that some Geminis out there are experiencing new relationships with their 7th house. So, and this is all about shared resources, right? So that does have a lot to do with, you know, relationships and things like that. So it's interesting that that would come up there. Others of you are just going through really real physical ground. This is Capricorn season, right? This is the number 10, and Capricorn is an earth sign. So this reminds me of a Capricorn energy. Some of you can just be going through different physical, real, seeable, touchable, like you really know, you're aware, you can see these completions happening in your life, whether they don't have to just be with soulmates. This isn't just a soulmate card. This is about the past and the future, because it's a older figure and a younger figure. This could just be your twins. But whatever it is, Gemini, there's a certain completion happening, and it's a physical one. Whether it's financial or whether it's just something physical like where you live or the place that you work, or a physical relationship, but there's something ending and another thing beginning. Something it's like closing a door to the past and opening one to the future is what I see here. And you may be doing that alone, or you may be doing that with a person. This has a lot to do with ancestry and family as well. This is like a family card. You will see a lot of different people in this card: young people, old people, children, animals. So there's something there completing. I see here that there is an emotional, because we have 2 10 cards right here. So your mountain has a lot to do with physical completion and an emotional completion. And this is literally Cancer and Capricorn. And we're all experiencing a Capricorn and Cancer energies right now, because we have a Capricorn stellium and we had that Cancer full moon in January. And this is a January reading. So in this month you will, and this is earth and water right here. So you are very much completing an emotional cycle, and you are completing a physical cycle. It has a lot to do with the family life as well. So I see a lot of children here. We see those 2 children playing there, and we see children in this card as well. So for some of you, it may have a lot to do with your children, or for perhaps you, Gemini, you are a very childlike sign, not childish, but just childlike at the soul. But nonetheless, we have completions happening here, Gemini, and it is at the foundation of your mountain. So this mountain begins with certain completions being made, and I believe that this is because of the energy that you experienced last month with that Gemini full moon. And we also have Archangel Michael here. So you do have Archangel Michael and Sagittarius here in your reading to help you. We have an opposition here. Some of you may even be with Geminis or Sagittariuses, because we have the Lovers card here with Sagittarius card. And if you're not with a Sagittarius, or if you don't know a Sagittarius, you know, like I said, this is Archangel Michael, and also this is moderation. So you want to balance, you know, your past and your future. That's what your final battle is about. It's about emotions, emotional completions, physical completions, and not only the physical and emotional completions of now and the future, but of the past. Some of those feelings can come up at the beginning of New Year's because, you know, we notice that there's so much going on. So you want to moderate these things, and you want to balance these things like the Sagittarius is in this card. See how the 1 foot is in the water and 1 foot isn't? So this is a lot about earth and water. You have 1 foot that is grounded, and 1 foot that is in the intuition, in the spiritual realm, in the emotions, in the feelings, and the psychic abilities. So this has a lot to do with your 2 twins as well. Perhaps one of your twins feel more grounded than the other, and the other one is, you know, more emotional. But you want to balance these completions and these new beginnings so that you are experiencing a moderate form of these new beginnings. You know, you want to transform into whatever it is that you are meant to transform into, Gemini. But I love that your opposite sign has shown up here. I see this here. Why would Sagittarius and Gemini come out together, right? So very, very important there, that energy. And I'm very drawn to her feet, or his feet, I'm sorry. One in the water, one out. So there's something here about being emotionally grounded as well. And that is what you're going to have to battle. This is a battle because Gemini, you are an air sign. And I know you're mutable, so you're okay with change, but as an air sign, you can struggle a little bit with your emotions. So you see, when it comes to emotion, you're only willing to dabble a little bit. You're not willing to feel a whole bunch because, you know, you have to be an air sign. You're all about intellect, right? And it's interesting, the only two sword cards we have in your reading are rather challenging cards. So I do see some challenging communication or a challenging mental state, because we have the 7 and the 8 of swords right underneath each other. So we'll get to that part very soon. But as far as the foundation of your reading, I would say that this mountain begins with, and it makes so much sense because every mountain begins with the completion or the new beginning to climb that very mountain. So, and I would see that a financial or physical completion will definitely send you on your way to new mountains and new obstacles in your life. So there may be financial obstacles or emotional obstacles that you're climbing and fighting now, Gemini, and they could have everything to do with a balanced past and future. You really want, that's your way to beat this, is to really grow from your emotions and grow from your past and your future. And make sure you're doing that with integrity and, you know, emotional integrity as well. So let's move on here to the kind of middle of your reading. And we have your card, the Lover's card. For some of you, you really are experiencing a lover from the past. For others of you, this is just you loving yourself, because if we put this card right here. And we have that with the 10 of Pentacles and the 6 of Cups. So this lover's energy, this kind of masculine and feminine energy, you know, we have the Archangel Michael here as well. These cards are very similar together. We have these angels with these red wings. So I just want you to know that beautiful angels are helping you with your mountains, Gemini. You are very, very protected in the universe. And when it comes to these mountains that you're fighting, you're going to have angelic support from Archangel Michael and Archangel Raphael as well. And it's interesting that I'm drawn to this kind of mountain in between these figures, right here in the middle. So there is definitely a mountain between you and your twin, and you and a soulmate. So, you know, I'm very much seeing this as your card, Gemini. But at the same time, the Lover's card means a relationship. It's kind of like the 2 of Cups in a way. So with these cards coming out together, I see that some of you Geminis are really, really experiencing some sort of union, some sort of soulmate relationship from the past. And there's some sort of completion that is taking place there with the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles as well. Some sort of emotional and physical completion with a soulmate from the past. You could be thinking about emotions with a soulmate from the past, or something physical, maybe even financial struggles, maybe even emotional struggles, because this has everything to do with the mountain that you're climbing. So since this is your foundation, I believe that you want to be in a position where you are emotionally and financially fulfilled in a relationship and in your home life, because the 10 of Cups and the 4 of Wands are both in your reading. So that has everything to do with happy home life. You know, Cancer is the 4th house, even though it's your 2nd house. So for you, Gemini, this is all about having a happy home, whether that be with yourself or whether that be with your twin or whether that be with a soulmate or whatever. But it's very important that you have a happy home in January. And this reading, your mountain has a lot to do with that. I even see you are responsible for a lot of things. Animals and children and elderly people. There's a lot of different energies here. So I see for some Geminis, you're responsible for a lot. And part of this mountain and part of this obstacle is getting to the top and untrapping yourself mentally, right? Allowing yourself not to be stolen from mentally anymore, you know, psychic attacks and certain things like that. So I see certain completions happening here with a soulmate from the past and a soulmate from the future, something like that. Some sort of mountain that you're climbing with a lover, whether this is by yourself with a twin or whether you really are experiencing a soulmate relationship. Someone could have walked away in the past and they're returning. But I do see a lot of love here, Gemini. And if you're a single Gemini watching this, then this mountain is all about you and the fact that you've been thinking about, you know, this relationship. You really want to be in a divine union, I'm seeing. You really want to be with someone. You want this new love. You know, you do. And you want to be financially secure and emotionally secure. And you're gonna achieve this. This is why this is coming up in your reading. Is because, you know, you need to combine the knowledge that you have and the passion that you have in these relationships in order to reach the top. So the next card we have is the Seven of Swords. And this is all about, you know, sneaky, cheating, and lying behavior. Getting away mentally with something. But if you take a closer look in the background of this card, you see that back here we have an army base. Because this is a man who's stealing from an army base. That's what the Seven of Swords is about. He has stolen these swords from an army base, and he has this smug look on his face. This could be your dark twin, Gemini, because it's coming up right by your card. So this could be the part of you that doesn't give a fuck if you are in a relationship. Because Geminis, they like to put up this front like they're okay on their own and like they're, you know, like they're cold, hard figures. But really, Gemini, come on. You have that side of you that's so calm and nice. You have that feminine side of you that is spiritual, that is emotional, that is loving and caring. And, you know, your dark twin likes to get away with things like this. But you want to be careful because this army base over here, they see what's going on. So if this isn't you, Gemini, this is someone in your life who's stealing the love away from you. Or this could, I'm also reading this card a little bit differently for you because we have these swords being brought to you. You see, I'll pull these cards up for you. It's almost as if someone is bringing these swords to you. You see how that man is walking towards the Lover's card? And we don't have very many sword cards. So this is the communication. Maybe you felt for a really long time that you were being stolen from mentally. Because this is, the sword card is a mental energy. This here is a very mental energy. So this is like mental theft. Okay? Someone could be stealing from you in a conversation. You may feel like you can't get a word in edgewise with them. Maybe there's a certain lover from the past that you need to communicate with. And I do see that communication is going to happen soon in the future. But before that, there are these completions that needed to take place. You have to deal with an opposing energy. Sagittarius is symbolic for your opposing energy to you. It's the 9th house. You're the 3rd house. So it's all about believing, and it's all about communicating your beliefs emotionally and physically, financially as well, mentally. So, you know, we talked about that lover there, and something is existing. This Lover's card, it does insinuate, it does mention that there are distance between these lovers. So if you are single, Gemini, and you don't want to be, you need to decide what this mountain is. Like, you might need to climb a few mountains before you meet this lover. It might not be as easy as finding somebody on a dating site and falling in love. There's distance between you and a lover, whether they're right next to you right now, or whether they're in New York and you're in Florida. You know, whatever it is, there's an emotional or mental or physical, some sort of distance between you and a lover that needs to be hashed out. So here's the mountain for you, Gemini. There's a mountain in your card. And as I mentioned before, the angels will be there to spread light for you to gain certain knowledge and passion about that. But you really want to address this mountain and distance between you and a lover. This could be, if it's not a lover for you, if this doesn't resonate with you, then it's the distance and the obstacles in between you and your twin. Because you have a twin, Gemini. And I did see that here with this as well. So this is the distance of the past and the future with you and a lover or a twin or yourself or something. You have to heed your own intuition with these messages as well. But there's some sort of completion taking place there. And some sort of mental thievery going on here. Sneaky, cheating, lying behavior. So for some of you, this distance between a lover may have been caused by energy like this. energy that just takes and takes and takes, even though what they're taking doesn't belong to them. They could be taking certain words and mental. This is like gaslighting, you know, but don't worry, Gemini, if this isn't you, if this is a person in your life, they're going to get what's coming to them. And it's almost as if you're going to get what's coming to you, not in a bad way, but I just say that. Going back here, taking a look at how this man is literally bringing these swords to you. So mental clarity is on the way, Gemini, and certain conversations with a lover are on the way. It could be conversations about this distance between the two of you. It could be certain conversations about what is in between you guys, certain completions that are in the way, certain emotions that are in the way. Because I see that this Seven of Swords has a lot to do with your finances and your home life. You could feel that someone is stealing from you. Someone could literally be stealing from you financially as well. And it could very much be a lover or some sort of family situation, something like that. But you feel very taken from, Gemini. I see that you feel very taken from. But know that the way that your cards are lying on the table, that whatever's taken in this situation, it's interesting the way that your cards are lying, because whatever is taken is going to be immediately returned to you. You see how that guy is walking right into the Lover's card. So that can be interpreted in a lot of different ways, but I see that, you know, all of this mental energy is going to return back to you. Or there's a certain lover's relationship that is that the conversation and the mental clarity is going to return. I think that there is a certain mental blockage. There's some sort of mental block that's in between you and a lover. And I think that that is what's going to complete and change. And as I said before, someone could literally be stealing money from you, since the Seven of Swords is on top of the Ten of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups. So I also see this energy in your life completing, because it's right above 2 10 cards. And this is the 7. 7 is not bigger than 10. So if you have someone in your life that you feel mentally takes from you, or in a conversation they take from you, or whatever this energy is for you, someone who's sneaky and cheating and lying behavior, stealing from you, taking from you, always taking and taking from you, well, you're going to wind up on top of that situation, Gemini, and there's a completion that's happening there. Whoever's taking from you emotionally, and this could be an energy I'm talking about. This might not even be a person in your life. It could be like some sort of demon or some sort of dark entity that has been attached to you. But I do see that energy is completing, and there'll be some sort of new beginning there. Someone has been taking from you emotionally or financially or physically taking from you. And I do see here that there is the Ace of Cups. And the Ace of Cups has everything to do with newfound emotion. This is everlasting emotion. This is the flow of emotion. And the Ace of Cups talks a lot about, it comes up for people who have been so emotionally sheltered for so long. Gemini, basically. I know that you've been kind of stuck with your own emotions for a while, Gemini. But I want you to know that this emotion is really returning to you. And it could very much be the emotion that was stolen from you, because we have this here with the Seven of Swords, and we have the Ten of Cups beneath that. So there was emotional fulfillment was being stolen from you. And I feel that it was by an entity outside of this realm. I don't think that it was a person. I don't think it's that simple. I think that there was an energy. There was some sort of, it could be your own mental energy that was keeping you away from the lovers. It was keeping you away from the Ten of Cups, feeling emotionally complete. But here we have the Ace of Cups here to save you. You know, you're being offered this Ace of Cups to drink from. So your emotions are returning to you, Gemini. And they're flowing in and out and through you. And, you know, after so long of holding your emotions in, you're finally willing to communicate these emotions with people and places and things around you. And you really want to moderate this. You know, you want to do this in moderation, because you are someone you're a dual sign, Gemini. So you can't be all light or all dark. You can't be all right or all left. You can't be all up and not down. I'm the same way as a Pisces. It's something I'm realizing too, now that Saturn's out of Capricorn. Now that Saturn is out of Sagittarius. This could also be Saturn and Sagittarius energy, trying to show you the completions that are taking place emotionally and physically, now that Saturn is no longer occupying a mutable sign like me, you, in Virgo. in Sag. Now that Saturn is in a cardinal sign, it's all about action. And the mutable signs are kind of free to come out. So you're free to feel again, Gemini. Saturn is no longer occupying your seventh house of relationships. So it's time for you to get out there and for you to communicate. For so long, Saturn was restricting your seventh house of relationships. And that's why I see so many new beginnings and completions happening here with a lover, someone coming back from the past or something like that, some sort of soulmate. And that would, I don't know about you, but that'd be enough for me to have a lot of new emotions. And I don't mean to say that in a way of it's only in relationships. This is for single and all in between Geminis. There's just a lot of emotion being shown here. And I do see that this is part of your obstacle. You're going to fight this. You're going to struggle with these new emotions. And don't feel bad for that, because for so long you were able to get away without feeling. But of course you feel on the inside, right, Gemini? You feel on the inside. And now those emotions are going to be expressed in a more physical way. And we have that here with the Ten of Cups and the Temperance card. So you want to moderately express. You want to make sure you're balancing your emotion. Remember here the fact that he has one leg in the water and one not. That's definitely the Ten of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups. You know, you want to feel physically complete as much as you want to feel emotionally complete, Gemini. That's no secret. I see it in the cards here. So the only way to master that is to balance both worlds, just like any dual sign would. So we have the Ace of Cups right here pouring into the Temperance card and the Ten of Cups. So we have love and emotion just pouring itself into this Ten of Cups energy with the Ace of Cups. So that's literally the 11 of Cups for you, because we have the Ten of Cups and the Ace of Cups above it. So another thing is these harmful energies that are taking from you, they're going to be healed with this Ace of Cups. And anything that's been taken from you is going to be replenished by this beautiful ebb and flow of the universe. You're going to be feeling a lot of the feels, Gemini. Feels that you haven't felt in a long time. So we move on here to this Four of Wands. Sorry. This is a marriage card. This is a happy home life card, just like the Ten of Cups. This is a celebration, nonetheless. So for those of you who aren't married or who aren't getting engaged and all that kind of thing, well, there's something that you need to celebrate. There's some sort of celebration. If you look in the back, there's some sort of party going on there. If you see those people right there. So you want to celebrate. And this is when you're kind of almost at the top of your mountain, Gemini. So you want to celebrate all that you've overcame, right? This is a fiery energy. So this is the passion that you have in life. This could be a financial celebration, since this is the second house we're talking about. This could be a celebration with another person, since this is the 8th house of shared intimacy. You could be sharing intimacy with others. We did have the Lovers card and we did have the Six of Cups. So for some of you Geminis, you are really experiencing this kind of like Four of Wands energy with someone, and I can just feel the resistance that you guys are feeling for this. Like those of you Geminis, see, I feel that there are Geminis who are single, who are not being quite honest about the fact that they don't want to be. You guys act so much like you're okay with being alone, and it's not fair that everyone always talks about Gemini and how they have the twin, because what it makes you guys feel like, you guys were born feeling like you should be okay with being alone because you have that spiritual twin. But that doesn't mean that you're not capable of being in a physical relationship. So for those of you who have actually, I feel that Gemini struggles a lot with that because they do have a spiritual twin. So it's hard for you guys to get in relationships because you always have this kind of secret part of you that you're in a union with. But you need to find someone who can accept your light and dark. Someone who can accept those two parts of you, Some people are into that kind of thing. Get you a dual sign. Get you a Libra or a Pisces who can actually get on your level. You know what I mean? You don't need to be with someone who's simple and so traditional that they don't know how to handle more than one side of a person. Like, I'm a Pisces. I can handle so many different sides of myself and others. But not everybody's like that. So, Gemini, I do see some sort of union here. And I feel that for those of you who are in unions, for those of you who are possibly in some sort of maybe you're getting engaged to, or you're getting married, or this is just another step to your relationship, maybe moving in together. Well, you just handle it. You're so pissed. Like, damn it. Geminis are the only people I know that get upset when they fall in love. It's like, what the fuck? Like, you guys literally pick on your lovers. You know, that's how you know if a Gemini likes you, because they pick on you. You know? And it's like, that's why you guys are kind of childlike, because that's what happens in like kindergarten. You know, when you like somebody, you just kind of pick on them, but really you just like them. It's like Helga and Hey Arnold. You know, Helga loves Hey Arnold, but she just like treats him such like shit. And that's just the Gemini way. You know, you just like to, that's the dark twin. And when you get a Gemini, if that dark twin, if they love you enough to show you their dark twin, then you better feel special, because they don't always have to show that side of them. You know, people think Gemini doesn't have control over their twins, but they're always both twins, which implies that they do control it. I mean, and we have the Gemini card here. We have both sides of you right here. You know, and you need to find someone who's willing to accept your masculinity and your feminine, your light and your dark. Someone who's not going to try to steal that side from you. Someone who's just going to accept both of you. The adult side of you, the more immature side of you. And that's why moderation is showing up. Get you a Sagittarius that knows how to moderate shit. You know? But back to this Four of Wands up here that mysteriously just turns itself upside down. You know? It was upside down. I don't know if you guys could see that, but it was upside down. So that just proves to me that some of you are trying to turn this energy upside down. No wonder this is your mountain. Because you have a mountain to climb now within yourself, and within you not being that kind of cold air sign anymore. You are a mutable sign. So there's certain things that have to change. I have all the faith that you're going to handle this Ten of Coin and Ten of Cups moderately. You know, you have those two twins that can handle things in different ways. So some of you, you know, if you are a Gemini struggling like, oh, fuck, I done fell in love, I done caught feelings. You guys feel very vulnerable when you fall in love. But it's here in your reading. I see the Lover's card, you know, and I see this kind of celebration here. And, you know, if you're not a Gemini, if you are still one of those OG Geminis that ain't falling in love, still staying true to that air element, all intellect and no feelings type of thing, then for you guys, for those OG Geminis that are not going to fall in love, hell no, well, this is just a celebration for you. You know, these are your two twins in the middle here, just like it was your two twins here, just like it's your two twins in the Lover's card right here. Then it's just a celebration between your light and your dark that you're celebrating now that Saturn's in your 8th house. And, you know, it's okay to celebrate alone. It's okay to have it, to party on your own, but it doesn't look like you're alone to me. But it's always mysterious in the Gemini reading, because you never know if it's a lover or if it's just their twin. So it's going to be different for all of you, but I do see a celebration happening specifically for you, Gemini. And you want to be very careful not to let people mentally distract you or mentally steal from your celebratory moments. There's a lot to celebrate, and I know that there are certain energies in the sky trying to make Gemini feel like it's all low and blow right now, but no, it is very a positive time for you. It is very positive. And I see this here because this Four of Wands is being validated by the Seven of Swords and the Lovers. So it's your mental. Your mind is trying to make you feel like this lover's union is not good for you. But I see in the cards here that it's just a distraction. This is just your air energy trying to it's trying to over-intelligize or whatever. I just made that word up. But you're trying to be intelligent when you should be in your emotions. You know, you're supposed to catch feelings. You're supposed to catch feelings now. It's time for you to catch feelings. So you don't want to allow yourself to become mentally distracted from this divine union, and even if it's just from you, don't allow yourself to feel mentally distracted from any celebrations in January, February, March, April, or May. You know, a lot of changes coming up. So I see that here, that there's some sort of distraction between a lover and a marriage. Like, this could be either your mind, this Seven of Swords, it could be you stealing from your own damn self, which is why it's pointing at the Lover's card, because you're the one doing it. Or it could be some sort of hater around you, some sort of negative energy, whether it be physical or spiritual. But there's some sort of force right in the middle of your reading, and it's a take force, when really you're supposed to be sharing and experiencing harmony and balance. Okay, this is your mountain, Gemini. This is your mountain. You want to experience balance, not one-sided situations. The Seven of Swords is a completely one-sided situation. And now we have the Two of Pentacles. This is not a one-sided situation. This is also speaking to balance. This is also speaking to infinity. See the infinity symbol? So for those of you who are experiencing financial anxiety or some sort of, because this guy is all about juggling life. You see the ups and downs. We see the ship in the back here where it's the ups and the downs. Well, you know, he's having a little bit of anxiety. His face, if you want to take a closer look at it, it's kind of worried. But he's having fun during his worries, you know. He's having fun. He's not even firmly planted on the ground. He's juggling and he's keeping his feet moving. He's kind of dancing to the ups and downs of life. You know, there's extreme highs and there's extreme lows, and there's the ever infinity that is linking the two of them. So this has everything to do with your 2nd and 8th house, Cancer and Capricorn. You know, we do see emotions and pentacles here. We have water and earth. So, you know, it could be that the reason why we have the 10 of Pentacles and the 10 of Cups down here is that there are certain completions happening with your money and your emotion, and that's causing you to do a bit of juggling. You know, all of a sudden you feel, and all of a sudden you're thinking about how much you feel, and you're feeling about how much you think in all of the ways and everything. But you want to focus on this infinity, Gemini. It's everlasting. It's the flow, you know. It's all going to be okay. Money is fake as fuck, and there's always more money to go around. So if you are dealing with some sort of financial relationship with someone, if someone was stealing money from you, there's more where that came from. And like I told you, everything taken from you will be given back to you tenfold. You have the 10 of Pentacles. You know, you can juggle these financial situations because this is your 2nd house. You know, I know a lot of you are going through different financial situations. Maybe you're changing jobs, or maybe you moved into a more expensive house and you thought that you know, it's a little bit harder than what you thought. Whether you're alone or whether you're doing it with someone else, it's probably causing you a little bit of mental anxiety financially. Maybe you're struggling to know your worth a little bit. And that's all because of what's in the middle of your reading, which is this motherfucking 7 of Swords stealing energy. Be careful, Gemini. Stick to the Ace of Cups, this loving, flowing energy, because the 2 of Pentacles is being validated by the 7 of Swords. So there's some sort of entity taking from your life, making you feel not balanced, when this is literally a Gemini. Like, this is both your twins. If anybody can balance 2 different polarities in the universe, it's you, a Pisces, or a Libra. You naturally have the ability to balance anything, Gemini, because you have 2 of you. So you want to be careful of distractions that are going to distract you from financial balance and from the balance of your own value. You know, and also balance and value in your relationships, because this is a twin flame card. So we have the Lovers, we have the 6 of Cups, and we have the twin flame card here for you. But you want to make sure that you're valuing this relationship. You know, you're valuing the emotion in this relationship. It's not always going to be the Lovers card and the 4 of Wands. You know, you will have certain arguments, Gemini, but you know, you don't want to allow these arguments or these mental distractions or someone stealing from you mentally to distract you from how beautiful this union could possibly be. I do see a very balanced home life for you. Things could be great. And it's so interesting that we say all that to reach the top of your mountain. And it's like the top of your mountain is you in a mental prison, you know? And it's you. So this is what's going to happen if you don't listen to the Ace of Cups. This lady, her feet are not in the water. She's surrounded by this mental energy, even though the universe has told her time and time again that this is an emotional time. And that the only way to become unblindfolded and unbound, the only way to move on to your mountains over them. You see this back here? How on top of this mountain is her home? So for those of you who aren't with a lover or all that lovey-govey stuff, well, this is just about a happy home life for you. Celebrating with a friend or with a roommate or something. You just want a happy home life. You just want to pay your bills. And, you know, as Geminis, Pisces and Gemini are like 2 of the most, well, we are viewed as 2 of the most laziest signs. And I don't know if you're willing to admit that, Gemini, but I can. It's because we're very unique. We don't have to work as hard as other people to get the job done, and people hate us for it. So this mental distraction that was coming up in the 7 of Swords, and now we have the 8 of Swords too. So this mental distraction gets even greater as the more and the more that you go up your mountain. And we have this home up here. So your mountain is about finding home. You see? There's a mountain of home here too. If you look real close, it looks like they're almost the same, even though that looks more like a castle. So this is like your castle, and then there's that same damn castle in the background. So it's like you left this situation. You left the situation of turning up and celebrating this new home life, and you left the balance, and this is where you wind up, in this mental prison, far away from your home. This is where you have the Four of Wands celebration. But during that celebration, you're low-key trapped in your mind, and you can't see and you can't move because you're not paying attention to your emotional needs. It's a very time right now for Gemini to pay attention to their emotions. This is a mental prison. And you want to be careful with these mental prisons because you are an air sign. So you are extremely vulnerable to mental psychic attacks. You know, something can make you feel that you're blindfolded and bound, but, you know, you can wake up. And I hate when people say that the Eight of Swords is easy to break free from, because this doesn't look like an easy situation to me. I think that mental prisons are in some ways harder and more harmful than physical prisons. I would rather be in a physical prison than a mental prison, because this is what a mental prison looks like, my friends. Very painful. You know, there's no guard that's locked. There's no key in the lock. No, it's mental. So you're stuck inside your own mind. It's not as easy as a key in a lock. But what did I tell you? Moderation. Moderation. The only mental cards you have is the Seven of Swords and the Eight of Swords. So you're feeling very trapped, and you're feeling very, very stolen from mentally. And this is where it winds up being, is this kind of, you know, but the way out is your emotions, Gemini. You could be feeling very stuck like this because of that, the Lovers and all that emotion coming back. But look at the home in the distance. Go home, Gemini. Go back to where your heart feels. You know, break free from that little, it looks like toilet paper. It's like toilet paper. She can break free from the toilet paper, take the little toilet paper off her eyes, and see her emotions. She can get back in tune, put her feet in the emotions. And back here, we had 1 foot on the ground and 1 foot in the emotions. As long as you do that, like 1 foot in there though. See how that foot is in the water, in those emotions. But here, we have the feet, not in the emotions. It's not in them. And you can read up on this card if you want. This isn't, I didn't make this up. What I read about the Eight of Swords when I first started reading tarot is that her feet are not in the water. So it kind of shows that she's ignored her emotions. And when you do that, even as an air sign, you know, I'm sure water signs do this more often than you. But as an air sign, you're very susceptible to this because you don't really work with emotion that much anyway. You're more so an air energy. But this is an air card. This is talking about an air energy. Air signs deal with this a lot, feeling trapped in their mind, and you know, and it's usually because they are not paying enough attention to their emotion. And that is the mountain that you have to climb, Gemini. This is your final boss. This is your final battle, and it has a lot to do with completions of emotions and mental completions, physical completions. The way to beat this is to pay attention to the way that you feel, to not allow yourself to be stolen from when it comes to love and relationships, because Saturn is no longer in Sagittarius, restricting your love life. So you have to open your heart back up again. You have to balance your value with other people's value, the ups and downs of life. You know, it's okay to share this life with other people. And it's interesting that you have this celebration card, because you also have a celebration here. And right underneath that, we have the Tower. But right underneath that, we have the Justice card. And right underneath that, we have the Ten of Swords. So we have the Ten of Coins, the Ten of Cups, and the Ten of Swords. So I don't see that you're overburdened, because we don't have the Ten of Wands here yet. And if you don't want to become overburdened, then you really, really, really want to make sure you're resting. Okay? And we do have the Cancer card there. So there's a lot to do with emotions, but you want to make sure that you're resting, and that, you know, there are certain mental completions taking place as well, Gemini. But we have archangels here to help you. Archangel Michael. We have all this Libra archangel energy. This is the Libra card, but this is also justice. So, you know, here's this balance scale again. With the moderation card, now we are needing to balance these things. Balancing your mental pain, you know, and it's interesting that we're talking about a mountain, because this is a tower that falls down, you know, but it's interesting. You need to celebrate this. Celebrate this kind of energy. That's how you beat the Tower. is not by expressing yourself in an anxiety way, not by freaking out and giving up, but by celebrating the change. This is sudden change. And that's exactly what we're all going through, is sudden change. And, you know, Gemini, you guys can be dicks, so just celebrate it. I know that this is also a third-party situation, but I'm not really seeing that for you, especially because we have two celebratory cards. So you want to celebrate your emotion. You want to celebrate your passion. This is the only wand card that you have, Gemini, in your reading. So you're definitely being advised to celebrate the passion and creativity in your life, because we don't have very many wand cards. We don't have very much fire energy in your reading at all, except for Sagittarius, your opposite sign. So fire is the opposite element of you. Air and fire are opposite, but you need them both in your life. Okay, we have a lot of cups in your reading. We have cups and pentacles and air, but we don't have very much fire. So just make sure that you are celebrating the passion in your life that has been missing for so long. And even if things fall apart, make sure that you're celebrating it, because it's the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the pretty. You have the light and the dark twin, so you get light and dark. Very, very good. And it's interesting that we have light and dark, and then again, we have light and dark. You know, very dark energy. But look at that Libra. He has the sword, so he can handle that 10 of wands, or that 10 of swords. And this is a Libra card, so you may need to be a more cardinal energy. This is the cardinal air energy, as opposed to the cardinal, the mutable air that you are. So you may need to be a little bit more cardinal about these changes. And you want to laugh in the face of danger. You know, you want to celebrate the changes that are happening for you, Gemini, so that you can avoid climbing this big old mountain just to feel mentally trapped. Okay? I see that that's going to have a lot to do. Wow. Summon. So summon what it is that you need, Gemini. But what we're going to do is we're going to reveal to you what it is that is hidden from you. We're going to reveal a secret to you, Gemini, with the wisdom from the House of Night. So what can we reveal to Gemini about this mental mountain that they're climbing? This is a mental mountain for you, Gemini. And then we got your cards here. We have Strength and Invisible. Look at that. You have an invisible strength. You see that? Invisible strength. It literally says it. Literally says that the secret to this is the invisible strength. So what that means to me is that this looks rough and everything like that, like this mountain here. This reading might have looked a little rough, but there's invisible strength that is hidden beneath this reading. If you want to take a closer look at these cards separately, we have this person here who's jumping into a mirror. She's jumping into another reality. And it's interesting, if you want to talk to your twin, just go look in the mirror. That's how Gemini can speak to their twin, is through conversation and reflection. This is invisible. You may be feeling a little bit invisible, Gemini, but also this came out together. And here's the Strength card alone if you want to look at it. And we do have an owl in this card, if you can see it there in the tree. So there's a lot of wise strength going on. And for you, it's invisible. So I want you to know that it is there, Gemini. You have a lot of strength. You have what it takes to handle this mountain. This is your personal mountain, and it is causing you secret strength. You might not know it, but all of this energy is going to make you stronger. At the end of this energy, you're in this is a Leo card as well. So that Leo eclipse at the end of the month is also, you know, going to cause you a lot of strength. You want to celebrate your strength right now. Celebrate your reflection. Celebrate who you are, because you are secretly strong, Gemini. There's an invisible strength that is here in your reading. So I'm going to take this a little bit more of a look to see if there's any last minute messages for you that I may have overlooked, Gemini. But for the most part, I see, you know, a lot of playful energy. I see you getting in touch with the child. You know, I think it's going to really help you to get in touch with children, or with some sort of childlike tendency. You know, the creativity, the light in life, something that makes you happy. Whether this might be another person. If you are in a relationship, I do see that for the Geminis in a relationship watching, that you want to be careful not to talk yourself into a bad situation, you know, where you might, don't fix it if it ain't broke type of thing, okay? Don't worry about what's to come or anything like that. Just try your best to focus on this union right now, because it's very important that you are cherishing these celebrations that the universe is giving you. The universe is asking you to celebrate balance and moderation. It's asking you to celebrate the polarities in the universe that we're always experiencing. Light and dark, feminine and masculine, good and evil. All of it. The ups and the downs. I see a lot of polarity. Water and earth. I see that. I see that in your reading. In the middle of your reading, we have the Seven of Swords. So the main thing about this mountain of yours is being taken from. It's time for you to take back what was taken from you. That is what your main battle is about, Gemini. If this was confusing to any of you, I do encourage you to look below in the description box. You'll find my Facebook and my Instagram, all my social media accounts, and you can reach out to me personally about anything in this reading, and I'd love to look further into detail for you and to talk further with you guys. I am doing personal readings now, so I do have my PayPal below for any of you that would like personal readings. I'd be willing to talk with you and set something up with you about that. Any questions you may have, you can always comment below if that's the easiest way for you to get a hold of me. But this is your reading that I have for you, Gemini. This is your mountain. This is your final boss, the final mountain and obstacle that you're going to be coming over before we all enter this kind of new life in the next few months. You know, we have February, March, and April. And by spring, it's going to be a whole new world. You know, so you want to really stay mentally focused now, but you want to at the same time stay grounded in your emotions. So I hope that this was relatable, Gemini. And other than that, I will talk to you guys in February.